Well, hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the What's Happening at Island Church weekly podcast. Pastor Will, how you doing today? You buttoning down the hatches out there, getting ready for the storm?
Well, we're trying to get ready. We certainly are
Yeah,
praying for our people, and at the same time we're doing that, we're making preparations. We're doing both. We want to seek the Lord, and we want to do the things in front of us. And so I hope our people are doing that. We're checking on them and trying to get ready as this thing comes through. And I'm not sure when that people will hear this, but
yeah.
we certainly have made the preparations in our building, and then try to help some of our church members do the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're watching this, it may be a few days, it may be the day after the storm, it may be a few days after the storm. Definitely, if you're watching and you need any assistance at all, you hear this message, feel free to reach out to us at the church. Always happy to help in any way that we can. So, Pastor Will, talk to us a little bit about last week. Like, what's God doing last week maybe on Sunday, but then just in the week in general?
Oh man, another just a super Sunday. It was interesting to see when you start to stand and speak, and you're up, and there are people coming in the building still trying to wander around and find a spot to sit. So it was just a good Sunday in many ways. We continue to have guests show up, and we really appreciate that. And then we have repeat guests in terms of people that have come back 2 or 3 times, and so that tells you they're either living in the area or they're there for extended period of time. And so that's been really good. And then Matt, we just seen God move in the lives of our people. Our people have been responsive. We've had some challenges recently. It's been a very difficult series of months for us in many ways. But there's just great things out in front. And it's just interesting in the midst of having a spiritual enemy to also see God at work in the lives of people, whether they are guests in the community that are coming or whether they're our people that are stepping into leadership and new responsibilities. It's just good. And so it was a good time. We had a great service on Sunday morning. Our time in School of Christian Living was outstanding as well. And then we did that taco thing Sunday night. It wasn't Tuesday, but we still did
Yeah.
tacos. So Sandy had done a pinata, and so the kids took their thing at that could have been the world's most toughest pinata. So it actually took a couple men to break that thing open. So even they had to get in there with their hands. But we had big fun. We
That's
had
great.
tacos, had some fried ice cream. Jake Coffey helped us with that. He's setting a high bar for the rest of the men with his cooking,
Yeah.
and so it was a good sharing, good questions, good engagement in our time together, and just reflecting back on what God had done, and then what lies ahead for our church. So it was a good
I
Sunday.
love it. Awesome, awesome. Well, I love hearing that there's always new guests. It seems like every week there's a new update about there are even more people and the church is more and more full. That's obviously a sign that God's really on the move. And so what's coming up for the church this week? Obviously, talking about storm, help us understand how the church is preparing, how we can be kind of ready for what's coming up in the next week and even beyond that.
Yes. Well, we're not sure exactly, when the storm's going to hit, and the water may even come after the storm because of the way that the winds move the current and the high tide, some other kinds of things. So we anticipate that probably Wednesday afternoon we'll know where we are in terms of the water. And certainly we're praying for our people and for the people in our community. And we've made as many preparations as we could make to get ready. But we recognize that most of the work's going to be done on the backside. We've had some of our church members have stepped forward and said, "Hey, look, I'm here. I'll be of help, and just let me know." And so we're really on the waiting mode right now. But by the time people watch this, if they see it and they know of a need that they have, something that we might be able to do, certainly just let us know. Reach out, call the church office. There may not be anybody in there, but we have the phones forwarded if there's not, and we'll be happy to try to respond. But we got that. We're planning to continue our normal weekend services this weekend. That is subject to change. People may have to call an audible, but right now we're planning to go just as normal, and we're going to continue with for the foreseeable future just one service. It's getting full. We may have to make an adjustment in another month or two to add an additional service back, but right now we're going to continue in the 8:45 School of Christian Living, 10 o'clock worship time, and we'd love to have our people come and bring a friend, bring a guest. And often we think about storms, Matt, is that it's a time for people to actually take inventory of their lives and what really matters in life. And so while we certainly pray for the best in terms of the outcome for people and even the people where it's most affected, but it's also a time that people begin to reflect on their lives and what matters in life and in eternity. And life is short. And so we as a church family want to be ready to engage with people. We do a great job welcoming people, but also if you've got a friend or neighbor, this may be the week that you need to ask them to come. Last week I preached on unexpected pathway to success. And I dealt with humility. first time probably I ever preached on that, Matt, but that was just well received. And this week we're looking at another pathway to success and deals with the attitude of just teachability. And we're all going to get older. The issues where they get wiser and we're growing spiritually. That's really
Yeah.
what's at stake, and that means we got to all remain teachable before the Lord and actually teachable from each other. And so it's going to be another great week, and hopefully the weather will cooperate with us. And we're going to do everything we can to be there on Sunday morning as usual. But if we need to, we'll call an audible.
Awesome. Well, may seem pretty obvious, obviously praying for our friends, neighbors of the storm. How else can folks be praying for the church this week?
Well, we'll go pray for the safety, as you said. And then we pray for these guests to continue to come. We're trying to connect with them. And it's just a little harder this particular week. But they're coming back the second, third, fourth times now. I think Sandy just did a quick count this past week. I think she counted 15 guests, and so that's church our size. That's a big deal. And then just pray for our spiritual leaders in our life groups and stuff. And just as we operate the church, I didn't mention a new group that's coming up, starting up. Actually, this is Labor Day weekend, right? This next weekend, yep. And so next Wednesday at 6:30, there'll be a new group forming. They're going to study some material by Dr. David Jeremiah, highly respected, very well thought of pastor and theologian, actually, and Bible scholar as well. And so we're going to be doing that group at 6:30, and we're going to do it at the Lofton's house, and that may mean something to you. Some of you, who is that? They just live right down from our church facility, just to the north a little bit, and they'll be happy to have you there. There's been quite a number of people, even some newer people that have signed up for that. So we're going to get that group going. David Brooks and I will kind of co-facilitate that for a while, and hopefully I'll transition out. We've got so many new people that we'll have to start another group on a Monday night, and so I probably will move on to the Monday night and invite the new people that have been coming. So a lot of good things happening, and they can just pray about those things: the groups, the leaders, the people. We're still looking for a worship leader. Still, people continue to pray about that, and certainly appreciate Sandy and the team and what they do. But ideally, I would find someone to help us, more permanently in that area.
Awesome. We'll definitely be praying for that this week. Pastor Will, any last thoughts before we sign off for today?
No, just be safe. And if you see a need, something that we can do, or you have something we can help with, don't hesitate to call. Many hands make for light work. And so we want to be of help if we can. And just continue as we're following God through these days, these challenging times, and that we live in as a country, and right now in terms of weather, but God is moving our people, and we're just grateful for that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Pastor Will. If you're watching, thank you so much for watching this week. We love that we're getting such great engagement. We're getting 50, 60, 70 people watching every single week these podcasts. So we just love that you're watching. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. You'll get up to date on all of these videos. And also, we're now live streaming our Sunday morning gatherings on our YouTube channel. So be sure to subscribe. That way you never miss an update. Have a great week, and we'll see you back here on the Island Church Weekly podcast. All right.